this is Ravza.
And this is Meza.
Welcome
to Fun Facts with RNB.
Today we're going to be sharing fascinating facts about the human body.
What is so fascinating about the human body, Ravza?
Well, Beza, for example, did you know if laid end to end, an adult's blood vessels could circle the Earth's equator 4 times?
That's impossible. How can something that long possibly be in our body?
That's because blood vessels are the components of the circulatory system that transports blood throughout the human body. These vessels transport blood cells, nutrients, and oxygen to the tissues of the body. They also take waste and carbon dioxide away from the tissue, so that means these blood vessels are very important for us and are required to be everywhere in our body for us to survive.
I understand.
Look, Beza, Kristen is doctor, wants to share some extra facts with us.
Well, then let's watch.
And now to our lab for some amazing body experiments. Ugh. Just don't try anything you see here at home. Chris, give me your hand.
Why? I'm about to use a special piece of medical equipment on you, and I can only do this because I'm a doctor.
Why do I feel nervous? Ouch! You've drawn blood! Is this really necessary?
Now don't try anything like this at home.
And I'm only tolerating it because Zand is a trained medical professional and he's using some piece of proper scientific equipment.
Now, the reason I pierced Chris's skin was to show you how blood is absolutely everywhere inside your body.
It's true that while it did hurt, the hole actually couldn't be any smaller. Blood still came out.
Our bodies are filled with 5 litres of blood, and it flows through an incredible network of tiny vessels. As you'll know, if you've ever cut yourself on paper, even the tiniest cut draws blood.
That's because blood vessels are everywhere in your body. You have about 60,000 miles of them, enough to go around the planet nearly 2.5 times. Now, Zand, wait here. Give me your hand. Now, I want you to take the end of this piece of string, start walking, and keep walking. Now, the string that Zand is holding represents the blood vessels in just one part of your body. So, do you think that all this string represents the amount of blood vessels in A, your arm, B, your hand, or C, just your fingertip? The answer is C. Amazingly, all this string is the same length as the blood vessels in just one fingertip. Your fingertip is only about 1 centimetre long, but the blood vessels inside it measure 1,000 metres. So that's how long this string is, and I suppose by now, how far away Zand is.
Chris? Chris?
Suppose better get him back.
So, there are thousands of blood vessels in your body carrying blood to and from the heart to keep everything working. And you have 2 types, arteries and veins.
So take a look at this. It's a device that doctors use for spotting veins, and it has a special infrared light. Chris, meet my veins.
Look at that. Cool, that really is good. I mean, you can see Zand's veins in all their glory. And the job of those veins is to carry your blood back to your heart.
Now, your other blood vessels are your arteries, and they take blood from your heart to your muscles and organs.
This is a piece of skin from a pig. It might look disgusting, but we're showing it to you because it has arteries in it, just like yours.
They're thick, and they're tough and elastic, and they're very strong. Now, next to them are the veins, but they're much harder to see, they're much smaller, and they're much floppier.
Now, the reason the arteries are so strong is because blood is pushed out from the heart at a very high pressure. But the whole system relies on blood vessels being nice and clear. Like roads, they work better when they're not blocked with traffic.
And to show you what happens when arteries are blocked, I've enlisted the help of some of my friends. Chris, meet John and Anita.
They're wooden cutouts.
They look a lot like John and Anita. Anyway, they both have tubes running all over their bodies, and those represent arteries. Now, the arteries on Anita are lovely and clear.
With John, though, there are little blockages all over the place. It doesn't look like a big deal, but we're going to try and show you how much difference this makes in an artery race. In 30 seconds, we're going to see how much of our fake blood, in my case blue, in Zand's case green,
We can pump through the blood vessels to John and Anita's organs. Basically, we're going to be their hearts.
Start the clock.
Oh, mine's really difficult. John's arteries are so blocked that no blood is getting to his muscles or his organs. I'm having to put in loads of pressure, and this is like John having high blood pressure, isn't it?
On the other hand, Anita is extremely easy. Chris, Anita's doing fine, but John's in real trouble.
John's hemorrhaging, and I'm hardly getting anything through to the bucket.
You've got to keep pumping or he's going to die.
John is not doing well.
Time's up.
That's terrible.
And no blood is getting to his organs. Well, Zond, I did all I could, but it just goes to show how serious a blockage in an artery can be. It's lucky John is only a cutout.
If you want to have nice, clear arteries like Anita, you've got to exercise, eat properly, and lead a healthy lifestyle. Now, Chris, I've got a ball of string that represents all the blood vessels in your entire body. It's 60,000 miles long. Tie the end to your finger.
Zond, not falling for that trick, but that is an enormous ball of string.
Thanks, guys.
I had no idea our blood vessels were so important for us, Rauza. Thank you for letting us know.
No problem.
I think I have another fun fact to share with you all.
Really? What is it?
Did you know that your left lung is about 10% smaller than your right one?
What do our lungs do, Beza? And why is one smaller than the other?
Well, as we all know, breathing is one of the most essential biological activities to keep us alive. To assist and keep this activity going, we have two lungs that make up one of the largest organs in our body. They work in collaboration with the respiratory system to allow us to take in fresh air and get rid of the waste air. The two lungs located in our chest are so large that they take up most of the space in there. But these two lungs are not of the same size. Instead, the one on the left side is a bit smaller than the other percent on the right side, inside the chest. That is because the left lung shares space on the left side of the chest with the heart, hence is smaller in size to leave room for the heart.
Wow, I had no idea.
Oh, look! Nerb and Chloe are about to go on an amazing adventure into the respiratory system. Let's join them.
And then the gallbladder stands up and finishes my joke. I mean, the gall of that guy.
Hold that thought, Nerb. What's this?
5th annual Bodylandia Lung Race. The duo that gets into and then out of the lungs first wins a prize. A prize? A prize, Chloe! Oh, my dear heavens, a prize!
If the time on this poster is right, the race is about to start any minute. Yikes! We better get into our running outfits.
A Nerb is always ready for a race.
Chloe's too.
To the racetrack.
Phew. Made it in the nick of time. They're about to start.
And they're off. The kidneys are in the lead, followed by the eyeballs and the ears. Chloe and the Nerb are in dead last. Chloe, let's pick up the pace, shall we?
This isn't working. And I'm breathing really hard.
You're breathing hard because your body needs more oxygen. Oxygen is in the air we breathe. When you're breathing hard, your lungs can take in more oxygen, and your heart is beating faster to get that oxygen all around your body. In we go!
Do you know where we're going?
Of course, into the respiratory system, and more specifically, the lungs.
Ugh, this is gross, Nerb. There are boogers everywhere.
Let's get out of here, Chloe. When you inhale, air comes into your nose or mouth, and then down your windpipe, also called the trachea. At the end of the trachea are two large tubes called the bronchi. They lead to two large organs responsible for breathing, called lungs. One bronchus goes to the left lung, and the other one to the right. The lungs inhale air with the help from your chest muscles and diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscle under the lungs. As you breathe in, your diaphragm contracts and flattens out. This allows it to move down, so your lungs have more room to expand as they fill up with air.
So when you exhale, everything happens in reverse and the air goes out the way it came in?
Exactly. Here we come!
This is the lungs? Nerb, it's just another set of tubes.
The lungs have tons of these smaller and smaller sized tubes called bronchioles, which can be as small as the thickness of a hair. The end should be right after the next one. Here we come!
Nerb, where are we?
The alveoli. Fancy word. This is where the magic happens, where oxygen from the air we breathe gets absorbed into the blood. Alveoli are tiny air sacs at the end of each bronchiole. There are about 600 million alveoli in the lungs. Each has a mesh-like covering of very small blood vessels called capillaries. Oxygen travels into the blood through the alveoli into the tiny capillaries that surround them.
Fantastic!
Oh, right. We've got a race to win. But before we go, I should explain the process of exhaling. The air you breathe in is different than the air you breathe out. The most important gas in the air is oxygen. Every one of your body cells needs oxygen to stay alive. Deep inside the lungs, your body takes oxygen from the air and delivers it to the bloodstream. Then your heart can pump oxygen-rich blood all around the body. Then the process operates in reverse, letting your body get rid of a gas called carbon dioxide, which is waste gas the body doesn't need. Carbon dioxide is carried by the bloodstream to the lungs. Then the lungs exhale it out of the body.
Nerb, we're falling further and further behind in the race.
No worries, I'll kick it into Nerb Hyperdrive.
We're doing it! We're winning!
Nerb now! We did it! We won! The crowd goes wild! Why is everyone so quiet?
Nerb, we won the race like 45 minutes ago.
Oh,
They may have lost the race, but I must say that was a very fun journey.
I agree, Beza. But while we're on the topic of the respiratory system, I have another fun fact for you all.
What is it?
Did you know the human body can detect about 1 trillion smells?
How? That is a lot.
Yes, humans detect smells by inhaling air that contains odor molecules, which then bind to the receptors inside the nose, relaying messages to the brain. Most scents are composed of many odorants. A whiff of chocolate, for example, is made up of hundreds of different odor molecules. The human nose has roughly 400 types of scent receptors that can detect at least 1 trillion different odors. The human nose can distinguish at least 1 trillion different odors, a resolution orders of magnitude beyond the previous estimate of just 10,000 scents, researchers report today in Science.
Who could have known?
Oh look, it's Nerb and Chloe again.
Are they going to go on another quest?
I believe so.
Well, we definitely can't miss that. On to another adventure.
So, Nerb, what's the quest?
Something remarkable.
Gadzooks, that sounds terrific.
Why, look, there it is, the nose!
That's it? I was expecting something a little more impressive.
More impressive than the nose? Ha! Not likely.
Enlighten me.
Where to start?
How about the entrance?
At the entrance of the nose, you'll find there are 2 holes called nostrils. They're separated by something called a septum. When you breathe in through the nostrils, the air enters the nasal passage and heads into your nasal cavity. The nasal cavity is a space in your head behind your nose. From the nasal cavity, the air heads downhill through the trachea or windpipe and poof, ends up in the lungs. Then the whole process happens in reverse when you exhale.
Breathing's great and all, but I can also breathe through my mouth.
The nose is a lot more than a hole to breathe through. It also warms, moistens, and filters the air before it enters the lungs.
How does it warm, moisten, and filter the air?
I'm glad you asked. The inside of the nose is lined with a moist, thin layer of tissue called a mucous membrane, which makes mucus, that sticky stuff in your nose.
Oh, you mean snot.
Wonderful, glorious snot works with your nose hairs to capture dust, germs, and other small particles that could irritate your lungs. When the mucus, dirt, and other debris dry and clump together, voila, you've got yourself a booger.
So, a booger is like a trophy your nose captures when it's protecting your lungs.
Nose trophy! Oh, sweet rightness! Now, sometimes your nose captures something it needs to get rid of right now.
Hey, stop putting that pepper on your sandwich. You're going to make it sneeze.
A sneeze shoots unwanted particles out of your nose at up to 100 miles an hour.
Who are you calling an unwanted particle? Air in, air out. Warms, moistens, and filters the air on the way. Makes boogers. Can shoot unwanted stuff out of your nose at 100 miles per hour. Pretty awesome stuff.
Oh, but wait, there's more. Close your eyes.
What?
Just do it. Smell.
Mmm, fresh bread.
Smell.
Orange. Nice.
Smell.
Aw, a rose. You shouldn't have.
Smell.
Ew, gross. Your old gym socks. You really shouldn't have.
Your nose can smell what it smells because of the olfactory epithelium. Olfactory is a fancy word for things that have to do with smelling. The olfactory epithelium contains special receptors that notice them. Then the receptors send signals along the olfactory nerve to the olfactory bulb. Those signals then go to the all-important brain.
So that's how I know if I'm smelling bread, an orange, a rose.
Exactly.
Or say your old smelly socks. Wow, the nose.
The nose!
We salute you. 2 thumbs up for the nose. For the nose, not in it.
Yeah, I get that now.
Can we go on the sneeze ride again? That was awesome.
Just as soon as I get my thumbs out.
Those two are so funny.
Yes, but I think we have seen enough of the respiratory system for the day. Don't you agree?
Then there's a brand new fact for you. Did you know that your eye muscles are the body's fastest muscles? They allow both of your eyes to flick in the same direction in a single 50 millisecond movement.
That is an amazing speed.
Your eyes are at work from the moment you wake up to the moment you close them to go to sleep. They take in tons of information about the world around you, shapes, colors, movements, and more. Then they send the information to your brain for processing so the brain knows what's going on outside of your body.
That's a lot of work for something the size of a ping pong ball.
The eye sits in a little hollow area, the eye socket, in the skull. The eyelid protects the front part of the eye. The lid helps keep the eye clean and moist by opening and shutting several times a minute.
The eyelids is pretty cool as well, huh?
Yep, the eyelid also has great reflexes, which are automatic body responses that protect the eye when you step into bright light, for example. The eyelids squeeze together tightly to protect your eyes until they can adjust to the light. And if you flutter your fingers close, but be careful not too close, to your friend's eyes, you'll be sure to see your friend's eyes blink. Your friend's eyelids shut automatically to protect the eye from possible danger. And speaking of fluttering, don't forget eyelashes. They work with the eyelids to keep dirt and other unwanted stuff out of your eyes. But that is enough information on my part. On to Dr. Binocs.
I think we have come to the end of another episode.
Aw, but this was so fun.
I told you the human body was fascinating.
Yeah, you were right. Thank you for bringing up this topic, Rawza. And thanks to you all for joining us on this fun adventure where we get to explore the human body.
Thanks for watching Fun Facts with RMB. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned to Fun Facts with RMB on Tinstar. Goodbye!